Hey guys, Madison here, and today is the day, the final part 4 of Lonesome Dove. I am both incredibly excited and incredibly sad to bringing this amazing series to a close. I love that it's only 4 parts, but I also hate that it's only 4 parts. So many series today, they commit the egregious sin of just going on for way too long, way past their time, when they should have ended 10 seasons ago. This is different because it's based on a novel. It's not just a long-running TV show. It's different. But I appreciate series that know when to end and that know exactly how many parts they need to properly adapt something. I haven't read the book, as I've said, yet, but I plan to. But I have had so many people in the comments telling me how close of an adaptation this really is, like adhering to and respecting the book, which I really appreciate. So anyway, all that to say, I'm very emotional about starting this and finishing it. You know how you want to like put off the last episode of something because you don't want it to end and you know you'll never experience it for the first time again? That's how I feel right now. But we must face the inevitable. So I'm ready, guys. Are you ready? Are you ready? Should I click the button? Okay, let's do this. I'll never hear this music for the first time again. R.I.P. Deets.
You just stood there and let that boy kill him. But Gus, why'd he have to die?
I've seen your father bury many a man, but I've never known him to carve a sign before. Cheerful in all weathers. Never shirked a task.
My Lord. Old Deets is gone.
I think we ought to let them pigs ride in the wagon, why?
Let the pigs ride in the wagon. I never heard of such a thing.
Well, they made history, ain't they?
Bear'll probably eat them. Or we will, this wintertime.
How about Indian?
Nary one.
Well, you probably won't neither. Not until they're reaching to lift your scalp.
Too soon, Gus. Too soon.
Ain't nothing better than riding a fine horse to a new country. No, don't tell your pa I said that. I like to keep him thinking he's caused a peck of trouble so he don't get too sassy. See, Woodrow ain't much of a mentioner when he can avoid it.
It's true.
But he had a chance to be there once way back there with your mama. But he turned his back on it, though, and he ain't about to admit he made the wrong choice. See, he ain't ever gonna admit that, not to you, not to me, not even to himself.
Oh, he died.
So long, girls. Don't let the Indians get you while we're gone.
You always got a joke, don't you, Gus?
Who's joking?
Gus, he's terrible. I'm just admiring all this scenery. Buffalo.
Let's chase him, you want to?
Shoot us one for our supper?
No, you don't get the point, do you, P? I mean chase him because before long, there won't be any buffalo left to chase. Old man Barlow was a slow thinker. He married a fat widow over on the Blanco River and had a passel of kids.
Well, I don't believe I'd want to chase buffalo even if I was married.
Get out of even me.
Oh my gosh. That is the definition of this just escalated quickly. Gosh darn it, Gus.
They're gonna surround us. I guess we won't hear from them till dark now. Pull them out for me, would you? No. Wait, wait.
Aren't you supposed to break them off and just get it out later?
What you don't do then?
No, that's
Be doing
worse.
now.
No, that's worse. That'll just make it. Oh no, just break it off and get it out later. This is a terrible idea. That was a fine piece of acting. Like, I just felt every bit of excruciating pain he was in. What the heck?
Killing our horses.
No. Gus is just running through horses like lightning speed, man. This is where the Charlie Goodnight and Oliver Loving story comes in. The look on his face.
Probably never heard Comanche before. God, but it's depressing to talk to you, P.
This all just went so wrong so fast. Oh man.
I ain't gonna leave you, Gus. Not like this. Yeah, but I can't walk and you can't carry. Just head south, that way yonder. If you run into a polar bear, you know you went the wrong way. Now go. Here, duck! Oh.
Get the hat, man. That's probably gonna get washed away. Look out on that cliff up above you. Man, these shots just with this incredible landscape. They don't make them like this anymore.
Yeah. I'm a-coming, Deeds. Wait for me, Deeds. Just, I'm a-coming. You intend to stab me with that knife?
About to have a go at that rotten leg of yours before you woke up. Down Miles City, they call me Old Hugh, though. I doubt I'm 80 yet.
Justice McCrae.
That rot's gonna get another one before long. You're gonna lose them both. You better ride my horse. I don't believe you're gonna get more than a mile of walking on that rotten leg.
That's my left leg. Ooh, there. Left. Oh, there.
I don't know, guys. I don't know if he's gonna make it there in time.
Where's Gus? Creek's up. That's why I lost my clothes. All them Indians. And then old Deeds found me.
I'm going after Gus. This, you're in charge?
You don't want no one to go with you?
No.
How in the world is Woodrow gonna find him?
Look us and pray that takes us right.
Doctor take his leg off?
Not so loud. Not so loud.
My bandages are leaking.
I can see that. Got to take that other leg off. Should have done it while you were unconscious. But you'll die if we don't take it off. Name's Dora.
Is she a whore?
Consumptive, too. There, see Philadelphia again, I fear.
Give her $20.
Why don't you give yourself a few more years of listening to whores play the piano?
Why don't you just shut up and go get me my whiskey?
I shouldn't operate today.
Gus. He didn't want to live without his legs. Look out, Woodrow. We don't need you in Gus's situation.
That's slow but sure. Took you long enough to get here, Woodrow.
I told him it should come off.
You wouldn't kill me for trying to save your life.
No. But I'll darn sure to save you.
You don't like to do nothing but sit on the porch and drink whiskey.
I like to kick a pig every once in a while. How would I do that? I want you to bury me down yonder. Clara's orchard.
Well, we just got to Montana.
I know where we just got to, Woodrow. You'd bury me next to that dumb horse trader she was married to. Hell, why don't you just throw me out the window right now and be done with it? I'm giving you a reason to go off on another adventure so you don't get bored being a ranger.
You're one of a kind, Augustus. We're gonna miss you. Where you want me to do your half the cattle?
I want you to buy 'em.
Buy 'em from you. Hellfire, you ain't put in a day's worth of work in them on this whole trip. You ought to just give them to me if you don't want them. Are you sure you don't want me to haul you down to the South Pole and bury you down there? All you gotta do is ask.
Yeah, there is something. Now, he's the only son you'll ever have.
I don't know that he is my son.
You're stubborn. No wonder women don't like you. Reaching that drawer there. Dangerous business riding with two women at the same time.
Well, you want me to help you with that?
What would you know to say to a woman?
Augustus.
It's been quite a party, ain't it?
Yes, sir.
Guys. Hats off for Gus.
Now, don't worry if you change your mind about the trip. It's been my observation they generally forget the whole business in a few days.
I don't.
Just like that, Gus is gone.
Gus is dead?
Yeah, you best go tell the boys to gather at the wagon. I don't want to have to tell this story but once. Gus got the blood poisoning in his legs. Doctor cut one of them off. Wouldn't let him have the other. Before he died, he asked me to take him back to Texas. I intend to do it come spring.
These are some beautiful shots here. Those pigs. Oh, wow. Newt becoming a cowboy.
Well, we're gonna build a ranch in this little valley right here. As soon as that wagon's unloaded, you best take some of these boys and go to cutting logs for a cabin.
Captain, I signed on to drive these cows up to Montana for you. But I don't remember signing on to stay once we got here.
Now, I won't hold you back if you're determined to go, Dave.
Well, shoot, is everyone gonna start leaving?
He's riding to Nebraska for that little blonde-headed whore now that Gus is out of his way.
Lori ain't no whore.
I just meant she was a whore in her younger years. I don't know what she does for a living now.
Jasper, he's such a punk. That's as close to an apology as Dish is gonna get. Jasper knows not to mess with him now after Dish has decked him. Is Dish and Lori gonna be in game? I've been hoping for this since like the second episode. It's gonna be really sad if Dish shows up and she's like, "I've married July Johnson," and he's like, "No." I will be very sad and feel really bad for him if that happens.
Newt, you're in charge. I'll expect you to make a fair trade to both parties, bring the money back here.
Yes, sir. I'm a top hand. I ain't taking no orders from no boy.
You will, or you'll draw your wages right now.
Well, let's go.
Giving him a chance to prove himself. When is Jasper gonna learn?
Get up. Come on, Newt.
Get it, Newt, come on. Darn.
Get on your horse, Jasper. We got cattle to drive.
Woodrow's secretly a proud father.
Give him to me.
Just like how we met Woodrow at the start.
Old Newt, he's got away with horses, don't he, Cap?
Yeah, he does.
Just like you.
See how your saddle fits this gray.
The hell, bitch?
Put your saddle on her.
Okay, but why are they calling that a mare when it is very clearly a gelding? They should have at least used a mare when filming, because I can see that ain't a mare.
Newt.
Why won't he say it?
You acted like you was his kin.
No. I ain't kin to nobody in this world, P.
Lori is always hair goals. Look at that hair.
I guess you wished you'd have gone off with him instead of staying here.
I should have.
No. Look at Dish. He wants you to love him so bad he rode through blizzards to get here.
He wasted his time, too. He proposed to you, didn't he?
He used to act so disappointed when I'd say no. I could see the relief all over his face. Well, Captain Call, I see you're doing it.
I told him I would. He wants to lay in that little picnic spot you and him had back in Texas.
I remember that spot. He wanted what I wouldn't give. And I wanted what he didn't have.
Well, he felt tender about the place. He wrote you each a letter.
Want to know what the letters said, but at the same time I don't. They don't have to tell me.
That was fine dinner.
You're excused, Dish.
Thank you, ma'am.
Dish, I just don't know, buddy. I just don't know.
I would be obliged if you'd look after Lori. I fear she'll take this hard. Good luck to you and your gals. I wonder if you want me to read that letter to you.
You put my name on it. I can read that. I'll just keep it. They'll all forget you, Gus. They got their own doings. But I won't. I'll think of it. I won't never forget you, Gus. Not ever.
Guys,
She just fainted, that's all. Spending the night up with Mr. McCrae. July, you and Shola go on and hitch the wagon for Captain Call. Did you give that boy your name before you left Montana?
Give him my horse. I put a lot more value on the animal than I do my name.
all you ever did was ruin each other, not to mention those closest to you. I despised you then for what you were, and I despise you now for what you're doing.
She can't blame Woodrow for this. I mean, this is also, I mean, that's just who Gus was. That was why she never married him. It was not because of Woodrow. It was because she knew Gus was always going to be a wanderer and a rambler. It was not Woodrow's fault. Gus made his own choices and he was who he was. Children, be respectful of the dead.
A lot of people in town. What's it hanging? Who is it? Some politician?
No, it's a man caught butchering a family down in Bosque Redondo. His name is Blue Duck.
I've been wanting that man to hang.
I raped women, stole children, and burned houses. And you never even had a good look at me till today.
It don't matter much now, though. Not unless you can sprout wings and fly through the hangman's noose.
If you care to wait, you'll see me.
I'll wait.
Wow. What a scene there. Think you're getting out of this one, buddy.
I guess that old woman didn't teach you how to fly after all.
Wow. His last act in this world was just taking one more person with him. That was all he wanted. What a despicable human being. Ah, shoot. Yes! That thing just fell apart. Oh my gosh, this is so sad. Watch out for the buzzards. No. No. My gosh, y'all. This is madness of the most endearing kind.
Well, there you are, Augustus. I guess this will teach me to be more careful about what I promise in the future.
That was that Latin phrase he didn't know the meaning of in episode 1, right? That was on the side of their wagon. Oh man. Ringing that bell.
Capitan! Capitan! My daughters, they were all married and gone. My wife, she was harder to get along with.
Jake's buried up in Kansas. Deets, Montana. Gus is in a little stand of pecan trees. The rest of the boys up in the North Country, building a ranch.
Is that where Lori used to be?
The way I heard it, the owner, he locked himself in a room and burnt the place down around him.
Oh my
They
goodness.
say he missed her.
They say you carried your friend 3,000 miles just to bury him. Is that true? They say you started the first cattle ranch up in Montana. They say you're a man of vision. Captain Call?
Yeah. Hell of a vision.
That transition of Newt fading into Woodrow. So that broke me. You know, I go into this episode like we're going to epic climax, right? Peak conflict, highest of stakes. I had no idea it was going to start like that. I mean, I told you guys from the beginning that I knew, or I thought that the journey of Charlie Goodnight and Oliver Loving, that legendary story about them and the Indians, I thought that that was going to be incorporated into the ending somehow. But I thought maybe like towards the end of this episode, I did not think we were going to kick things off with that. And then it was just so heart-wrenching, like seeing that happen to Gus, knowing he's probably not going to make it, and then realizing like the rest of the episode is like, instead of wrapping everything up in 5 to 10 minutes at the end, we have this long journey of Woodrow taking his body back to where Gus wanted to be buried, which I think was what Charlie did for Oliver Loving, if I remember correctly. I don't remember all the details of the story, but just an incredible journey. And all of it was so heart-wrenching, seeing Clara's reaction to losing Gus, and especially Lori's reaction to losing Gus. I mean, she was just like loyal to him and grateful to the end, like really did love him. And she, you know, when Clara's like, Dish came all this way for you, she's like, he's wasting his time. And it didn't, I mean, again, I know there's sequels and prequels and all of that, so I don't know what ends up happening to these characters, but it certainly seems at this point that Lori is still very not interested in Dish and wants to go her own way. And again, that theme of unrequited love there, but things could change in the sequels. I don't know. Just seeing Woodrow's level of dedication to his friend, that theme of brotherhood and friendship that was there between him and Gus, the whole story was obviously the heart of the story and the strongest thread running through, and just the most gut-wrenching. Just seeing his dedication to take him thousands of miles back to Texas after that incredible journey, everything they had been through, having to take him all the way back, and Gus saying, you know, I'm giving you an excuse to go on another adventure. And Woodrow being so stoic the whole series, and then just breaking down and weeping when he buried Gus. I can't talk about it. I'm a mess, guys. You know, based on the content of the series and the faithfulness of the adaptation that people have been talking about, I would have to say probably a fantastic novel. I cannot wait to read it. I really cannot. So I can have my heart ripped out all over again. Beautiful series. Wonderful cast and performances all around, especially from Robert Duvall and Tommy Lee Jones. Oh my gosh, fantastic. And Diane Lane, Chris Cooper. I mean, everybody, but especially Robert Duvall and Tommy Lee Jones, just the backbone of the series, and so charismatic. And I don't know, there is something about Tommy Lee Jones. He does so little with his face, and yet he does so much. He is, again, so stoic. And his characters, at least the ones I've seen for the most part, are very stoic, very tough. You know, I'm not going to show any vulnerability, no feelings, right? Like, I'm Mr. Tough Guy. But then deep down, they really have a heart in this deep emotional well in there that they just try to hide from the world and try to hide from everyone. And I love that. I love stone cold characters with like a secret heart of gold hidden deep inside that they like they don't want anyone to see, right? That was just fantastic. And then Robert Duvall as the perfect character to play off of him, just Mr. Charismatic and funny and witty, and they both had that same core of just wandering and adventuring, but they both just had totally different outward personalities, but they complemented each other so perfectly. It was just a joy to watch. It's always a joy to watch just a fantastic duo of actors that have such amazing chemistry together. Everything about this episode was just gut-wrenching. Seeing Clara deal with like grieving the loss of Gus and knowing like things could never work out between them, but yet she still loves him and still mourns him anyway, and then hating Woodrow, like blaming Woodrow for that situation, even though like Gus made his own choices. Gus decided what to do with his life. He did what he wanted to do, and I think he would have done that whether Woodrow was there or not. Same thing with Woodrow. They were just partners in it because they both understood each other and had that same desire, that same like wanderlust, and it was just something Clara could never, she knew it would never work with her and Gus because of that. So she was wise and she was smart to never marry him, knowing that it probably never would have worked out. It was wise of her, but it still always nagged at her, that what if, right? Gosh, again, wonderful performances, beautiful cinematography, beautiful music. I mean, everything. Just the character arcs, the character development, the writing, the dialogue, everything about it was top notch. And what was amazing too is a lot of times what's so interesting about a character is their arc, right? But both Gus and Woodrow were static characters. They did not change. They did not change over the course of the story. They started as they were, and they did not change their ways. They were who they were till the end. And even Woodrow at the end, like after all this has happened, and Gus has died, and Gus wants him to tell Newt you're his father. Woodrow still cannot bring himself to do it. He just gives him a horse. He's like on the verge of saying it, and he still can't do it. He can't make peace with the living. He can make more peace with the dead than the living. He just can't break down those walls, even for his own son. Even after losing Gus, losing Maggie, he refuses to do it, and it's really heart-wrenching, but yet he will keep this promise to Gus and go thousands of miles through thick and thin for him, but he can't even tell his own son, give him his name. It's so bittersweet and tragic. I remember I was speculating, what is the ending of this series going to be like? Is it going to be, I figured, it wasn't going to be a completely happy ending, and I said it probably is not going to be a completely tragic ending. It's probably going to be very bittersweet. And boy, was it bittersweet. I mean, yeah, it's like a lot of our characters are still alive and well, but they're heartbroken, they're grieving. There's very much just a theme of death and loss in this series. And typically, I always prefer happy endings over tragic endings, but I can appreciate a good tragic ending when it's written well. And it's written with the kind of depth and care and love that this is. I can totally get on board with it. I can totally get behind it. Because tragedy is true to life, right? We don't always, not everyone gets that happy ending. Not everyone's life works out exactly the way they wanted it to. People have regrets, and people die untimely deaths, and tragedies happen, accidents happen. And so I think that even with stories with happy endings, it is very important to keep them grounded and have a balance of the ups and the downs to be true to life. I know it's fiction, right? So there's different constraints depending on your genre, different rules that authors and filmmakers tend to play by. Westerns tend to be very bittersweet with, addressing the passage of time and civilization and society encroaching on the wild, encroaching on the frontier, cowboys seeing their way of life being infringed upon, things changing. Very much themes of death and loss as well, typical of Westerns, and war and violence. With the level of sickness and disease there was back then, so many people dying young, so many people being killed in violent ways, a lot of wrestling with those issues. The tone of this series, it very much had those ups and downs, like laughs and happy moments and joy and adventure, but it also had those downs of, losing people along the way, just very suddenly out of nowhere with these like freak accident kind of things. Gus chases a herd of buffalo over a ridge and suddenly he's got 2 arrows through his leg. Dietz wants to go help a little Indian kid and all of a sudden he's got a spear through his chest. I mean, just little things that you're like, nothing could have happened, but something did happen. I could ramble on and on about this series for a really long time because it is not one I will ever forget. And I'm so glad that I got to experience it and to watch it with you guys. I hope that you've enjoyed watching through this with me because, wow. Again, something I've been wanting to watch for a really long time, and so many people have recommended it to me because of my love of Westerns. I'm so glad that I finally got around to doing it and that you guys voted for me to watch it. It's one of those milestones, right? I have seen Lonesome Dove. I have seen this kind of cultural, milestone that really revitalized the Western and rejuvenated interest in it, in the genre. Just fantastic. All of it. I'm not going to ramble on anymore, but I just want to say fantastic, epic. Can't wait to read the book. Maybe I'll even do a little video. Like, some people have said we want to hear from you, like what you think about the book when you read it. Maybe I'll even do like a little book review video once I've read it. That's something I've kind of considered starting doing on the channel every now and then. When I read a book and I finish it, maybe start doing some like shorter, like 15-minute book review videos. I don't know if that's something you guys would be interested in, but I have thought about it. Kind of expanding what the channel can be a little bit. Reviewing different kinds of media and not just films and series. That'll obviously be my primary avenue of reacting and discussion and that sort of thing. But I also love to read, so I think that may be an avenue that I might explore in the future. We'll see. But thank you guys again so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed watching through Lonesome Dove with me. And now that I have concluded watching this series, I will be back to the usual Film Fridays. So if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. If you like this video, if you enjoyed my watch through of this series, please like and hit that bell to get notified when I upload a new video. Your support means the world to me, so thank you guys so much. I'm feeling all nostalgic because of this series, because of this episode. I'm all like, I'm all teary and everything. I love you guys. I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching along with me. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next Friday for another Film Friday. Bye, guys.